Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with Daily Grind Fantasy, and let's chat some DFS. In this video specifically, what we're going to be doing is chatting Underdog Fantasy, and I'm going to be giving out a 3-pick entry on Underdog using the Daily Grind Fantasy DFS optimizer to find the optimal plays to put into a 3-leg entry. And if you're a DFS player, I really cannot recommend enough using the DFS optimizer that Daily Grind Fantasy offers. It makes DFS profitable, which is obviously the most important thing. You can follow them on social media and see just how many people are making money using their tool. And it's also easy, which I think is incredibly important because you can make a lot of money doing it and it doesn't require that much thought on your end. So we see at the top here, you can choose what DFS platform you're looking for. For me, as I mentioned, we're doing Underdog. And then what I like about it is depending on what type of entry you're looking for, it tells you, and I guess I should say, you can filter specifically for how many picks you're playing. And then it tells you the odds, right? So you can literally tell just from this dropdown, what is the most optimal entry to put into Underdog. And the most optimal one is 5-pick insured. And then right after that, it's 5-pick non-insured and 3-pick non-insured. So for this entry, we're going to go with 3 picks non-insured. Now, every single play that pops up here is going to be positive expected value for this specific entry. And then from there, in terms of the individual plays, it's really easy to read left to right. Player name, it's exactly what it sounds like. Who are you taking? What stat are you taking? Are you taking the over or the under? And then this column here is the Underdog logo, telling you what you're taking the over or the under of. And then these next 3 columns, sportsbook line, percent odds to hit, and then this the DGF logo are very important as well. I'll explain those when I'm talking through the actual plays that we are taking. But I first just kind of wanted to give you a rundown of how to actually use the tool. Now, our first play, and we can get right into it, is going to be Lucas Giolito over 6.5 strikeouts. So when you are playing using the DFS optimizer and playing DFS, there are a couple different types of positive expected value plays. This is an example of a pricing discrepancy. The reason why, let's chat about it. So sportsbook line, this is giving you what do the sportsbooks have the line for this play. In this case, both Underdog and the sportsbooks have it at 6.5. So why is there value on this play? Well, look at where all these sportsbooks price it, right? Remember, Underdog is giving us the implied odds of minus 122 per individual leg. That's what this means here. That's what this parentheses means. Again, look at every other book and where they price it. We see odds ranging from minus 140 all the way up to minus 173. Think about the difference between all of the sports books and where they price this play and what we are getting by playing this on Underdog. That's insane value from minus 140 up to minus 173, with the majority looking like it's maybe, if you want to call the average, minus 150. And then, so I explained sportsbook line. So these next 2 columns, we're going to start with this DGF logo here. We see minus 152. So the way it works is Daily Grind Fantasy calculates what they deem to be the true line of a market, right? The perfect line of a market. Now, tons and tons of data goes into this decision and these odds. But one thing that does go into it are the odds of the other sports books. So we see DGF calculates this to be at minus 152. And then the percent odds to hit, all that is converting the DGF odds into a winning percentage, just using a conversion chart. So basically saying this play, Lucas Giolito, is going to go over 6.5 strikeouts, roughly 56.43% of the time. That is your win percentage for this play. Now, minus 122, the implied win percentage for that is right around 54.5, something like that. If we want to call it, 54.5. What that means is we need to have a win percentage above 54.5 on average per individual leg in order to be profitable. And this one is going to hit at a 56.43% rate. That's pretty good. This is our first leg. Next up, another MLB play. We're taking Bobby Witt Jr. to go under 2 total bases. So this is not an example of a pricing discrepancy because look at this. The lines are different. The Underdog line is at 2. The sportsbook line is at 1.5. This is an example of a line discrepancy where the sports books and the DFS platform you're using literally have different lines. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind for a line discrepancy, the lower the numbers get, the more meaningful the gap between the numbers become. Meaning, going from 1.5 total bases to 2, that is a massive, massive deal. That is literally like a 33 to 50% difference in the lines, depending on how you want to associate and calculate percentages and probabilities and all that. But that's a massive difference. Now think about, an NFL quarterback and their passing yards, right? We're taking Patrick Mahomes, Thursday Night Football. The sports books have his over-under at 299.5. Underdog has his over-under at 300. That half-yard difference isn't that big of a deal because it's a lower likelihood that he lands at exactly 300 passing yards. Well, in this example, it's a huge, huge likelihood that he lands at exactly 2 bases. 1 double, 2 singles. This, your underdog play, at least pushes. Every other book, your play would lose. So that's why this play specifically is a positive EV play on underdog. Underdog has this at 2. The sports books have it at 1.5. That means that value is now on the under because the sports books have it below the underdog number. That's why we see the difference here between the underdog line and the sportsbook line. For this play, same odds that DGF calculates this win percentage to be at minus 152, 56.43. That is our second leg. And then our third and final leg for this video is a Rafael Devers, another MLB play. Rafael Devers to go under 2 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So it's a different market going from total bases to HRR, but the logic is the exact same. Underdog has it at 2. The sportsbooks have it at 1.5. Again, that's a huge deal going from 2 to 1.5. This play, DGF calculates it to be at minus 151 with a win percentage of 56.06. So here is your 3-leg entry. Lucas Giolito over 6.5 strikeouts. Bobby Witt Jr. under 2 total bases. Rafael Devers under 2 hits plus runs plus RBIs. 3-leg entry on underdog absolutely feels like a 3-for-3 day. If you're riding with us, comment and let us know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and have a good one.